Kirby, you have, another year back here, obviously, to kind of have the whole off season now, and that is a year under your belt. How is it kind of coming into this spring ball?
Yeah, there's a little bit more familiarity, right, with the personnel, with the staff, and just really enjoy the work environment. And we're looking forward to guys competing and improving throughout the spring.
Now that you had a little bit of time to obviously kind of review it all, what did you like about what your offense was able to do in year one, and kind of what's maybe your goal for year two here?
I think the big things, right, we focus on three areas from an offensive standpoint. Starts with taking care of the football, which we did a fairly good job of. I think we ended up with 9 turnovers on the season. You look at 2 of the games that didn't go our way, right? Unfortunately, we didn't win the turnover battle, so that's something we can point to. We got to continue to find ways to be explosive. That was something that I thought was a strength. And from a scoring, right? Scoring wins games. We got to do a better job. I got to do a better job calling plays within the red zone. And we had a ton of opportunities down there. We just got to focus on scoring touchdowns instead of field goals.
How do you replace what Cody gave you, not just on the field, but in the locker room?
That's a tremendous challenge and something we're going to work through throughout the offseason. Really see it as there's a lot of opportunity. And that's not just only in the running back room, because from a leadership perspective, Cody did a huge amount for our program.
What have you seen from Brady this offseason as he gets ready for this year?
I think there's a subtle, right, comfortability in terms of what we're doing, confidence, and at the same time, a urgent enjoyment within this process. And he knows the areas that we got to improve offensively.
When you're scouting for running backs, what are some of the key attributes that you're looking for, and how did that get you to mind?
Yeah, I think you just look at the production, right? Those guys from a production standpoint, efficiency, explosive plays, those are things that, right, players not plays. They've done it at a high level, and finding guys who find their way into the end zone. So both those guys did that at a high level.
I know yesterday Eli was talking about in that wide receiver room, complacency versus competition. When you have as much depth as you do in that room, how would you like to see them attack that?
You said it, attack it every day throughout the spring. Number of guys had a good amount of production last year, but last year's last year. We got to move on from that. And a huge piece is just competing and improving right across the ball with the guys in your room and really pushing their personal best. Everyone's personal best is a little bit different. Guys who've been here for 3 years, 4 years, their personal best should be a little bit higher than maybe someone who's been here 2 months.
When you've got an experienced group like you have with the past team, how do you work through just where to find areas of improvement and not try to get too nitpicky at this?
Yeah, we were just watching some third downs from last season. I think it's looking at the efficiency, right, the production, hey, what's explosive, what really fit our personnel. That's an ongoing process, right? We did that last year within spring ball. You do it in fall camp, do it on the bye week, after the season. So that's always an evolving process that we're going through.
How big is it for you that the staff is fully back offensively and you're with the same guy?
That's exciting, right? I think you look at where we're at right now, we're a little bit farther ahead. That doesn't mean we jump over here. We still got to go back to the basics and from a fundamental standpoint, make sure we're sound. And hopefully over time, we go a little bit further faster.
Obviously, getting the first few weeks of working with, Corey, how have you liked how he's kind of meshed with all this staff?
Yeah, he fits in very well. I've tremendous amount of knowledge, and so I've asked him some questions about different things I see from a defensive standpoint, and just looking forward to working with him.
When you're entering with Sam Horn, obviously going through Tommy John surgery, is your plan right now to kind of see how Aiden Glover and Jared Blood progress, or would you like to start stepping some maybe potential replacements?
No, those guys are going to get a ton of reps, right? And that's going to be an awesome opportunity for those guys. We're there for Sam, right, going through this experience. And you look at the other quarterbacks, there is no better way to get better at the quarterback position than live, right? 7-on-7, team, learning through experience, good and bad.
Not only you being back, but Brady and so many guys coming back. Is there even more you can add to what – I mean, I'm sure you had the entire playbook in by
Yeah.
the end of last year, but now can you evolve and maybe do a little more even?
You said it, evolving, catering to our personnel a little bit still, right? Ongoing process that you go through, and that might look a little different year to year. Brett Norfleet came on very strong last year, so we're going to go throughout spring, hey, 11 personnel, 10 personnel, 20 personnel. These are maybe some of the schemes that fit us, and that's something we're going to hopefully get to a little bit quicker.
Given how well some of those run schemes worked last year, is there any feeling out process with reworking part of that offensive line as to what will be available for you later on?
Coach Jones, you guys saw it last year, did a great job with the guys up front. And I know right away the big thing from an offensive line perspective is just working chemistry, right? Cohesion. They need the reps together, communication, and making sure they're all on the same page.
I said, how nice is it to have a guy like Caden Green come in to maybe fill one of those holes?
Yeah, he looks great. I'm looking forward to getting out there with him and going to work.
What were some of the conversations that you had with Theo Weiss about his return? I know that was slightly up to date.
Yeah, I just think Theo, you talk about on the field production, off the field production, some of the things that Cody did as well from a leadership perspective. He really pushed our offense last year and made a huge contribution, and just super excited, was pumped when I heard the news, right, that he was coming back.
Coach, what was the biggest takeaway that you had from, calling games in the SEC? Has it changed, your philosophy as far as what you're calling, what you're doing offensively?
There's things you tweak game to game, week to week. The guys up front are a little bit bigger, right? And naturally, I don't even go watch those guys in pregame because I know they're right all about 6'5", 270, and that's really the price of admission to get into this conference.
Eli's always talked about spring ball, not focused on, depth chart or even position
Yeah.
battles, but just individual. What's your approach to the next 3 weeks and what impact it has?
I said it earlier, but just competing and improving consistently, right? Consistently on a daily basis to push your personal best, right? The schemes are the schemes. We'll evolve those as we go throughout the off season. But seeing, right, playing football, learning through experience, all position groups, chemistry, cohesion, all those different things.
When you look at this offseason, how much of a decision was there for you to be back here for year two, given some of the new opportunities?
Yeah. No, my family and I, we love it here in Columbia. Obviously, tremendous staff that I get to work with on a daily basis, great group of players coming back, and just looking forward to getting to work. All right, thank you guys.